Welcome back to ULC Northern Ministries Wicca Study number 3.
Part 4.
Part 4, and this will be the final video. We are covering the principle number 5 of the Wicca principles. This is the conclusion, and it'll also be the closing. The individual practitioner is to decide what he or she seeks for his or her own unique belief system. Again, to reaffirm what we said in the first video, if you're going to cast on anyone, always have their permission. In other words, hexes are bad. Please understand that.
Well, I don't want to determine bad or good or evil.
Well, we don't approve of it.
We don't approve of using any type of hex, curse, or adverse
Effects on somebody else.
So, for any reason.
Therefore, there is the possibility that this exact wording and interpretation may cause controversy between one practitioner and another. Simply be you, do you, believe as you believe. The base belief written in stone is what you will
Do what you will.
do what you will and harm none. This does not apply to self-defense or defense of friends or family. This does apply to not taking up retribution against someone who has harmed you, your friend or family. Essentially, immediate defense is not retaliation, but to act harmful at a later moment. Then the offense is retaliation, whereby willful harm. Now, I will say this. We don't really frown on people taking someone to court. That's different.
In our legal system, that's the proper, in our society, the proper way to handle any type of affront or assault, and is to take a person to court, press charges, civilly sue. That's different. This was talking about using any kind of magic for retaliative purposes.
Right.
If you have to defend yourself in that moment, that doesn't violate the no harm clause.
Right.
At least in my personal opinion, there are some people that don't even believe in defending themselves, that they're just a peacefully,
Almost like Mahatma Gandhi.
just peacefully ignore the conflict.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of hard to ignore a conflict if someone is trying to stab you.
Yeah, that's different. You're not willfully trying to harm that person. You're willfully trying to protect yourself from harm.
And if they get harmed in the process, then that was their own willful intent to harm. So if everybody lived by this rule, there wouldn't be a need for self-defense.
Right. But
It's sad.
to add on to that, don't feel bad because you hurt somebody defending yourself or those you love.
Right. Or your community. I mean, it's your house, your business, your whatever.
Right.
But don't take retaliative steps either. If you didn't defend at that moment, don't retaliate later, other than unless it's through the court system, which is always later.
That just dawned on me. Wait a minute, we always talk about the law in the ULC Northern Ministries. We talk about law because that's actually part of everyday life. Law is part of our life. And even within the Wicca, we don't believe in an unjust law.
Right.
But there are two dimensions, physical and psychological. The interaction between the two is where all magic and paranormal happenings occur. Remember, we don't believe in the paranormal, we believe that's normal.
Word. Yep.
As a footnote, and prematurely, we will cover a traditional ritualistic date, and that is Halloween. The 3 days of Halloween, the day before, the day of, and the day after. The day after actually being in within the, not trying to be say anything wrong here, but within the Mexican nationalities, Las Muertes. If I pronounce it wrong, correct me, but it's basically the Day of the Dead.
Well, Los Muertos.
That's what I meant by Las Muertes.
Los Muertos.
I could never say it right.
It's pronounced
Yeah,
differently.
it's pronounced differently around the world, just so you know. But I'm saying it can be Los Muertos, Los Mortales.
Right.
There's all different ways depending on region.
Right. These 3 days is a time of year when these two worlds are intertwined. Here at Northern Ministries, we would be glad to perform a Wiccan wedding, hand fasting, during this time period. The reason we bring that up is because a lot of Christian faiths won't do that, and within Catholic belief, I do believe they call All Hallows Eve All Saints Day.
I'm not certain, but I think you're right.
I think that's what my nephew told me. My nephew was a devout Catholic. He's now agnostic.
So basically what we're saying is if you all would like to have a Wiccan wedding and you would like to hold it on the day of, the day before, or the day after of Halloween, we'll gladly do those ceremonies.
Right. There's nothing wrong with being married any given day of the year. Matter of fact, if you wanted a hand fasting on All Hallows Eve, hey, there you go. There's your, what do you call that? Your theme for your wedding.
Right.
It's a Halloween party, everybody.
Well, my wife and I, even though we had our political marriage in August, our spiritual marriage union and hand fasting was done on All Hallows Eve.
Well, for instance, my fiance and I, when we get married, we're going to get married right after our baby girl is born because we got to go through some stuff.
Yeah.
But our spiritual wedding is going to be on my mother's birthday of June 10th next year. My mom will be turning 82 if she's still with us. God bless that woman. She's gone through a lot taking care of 5 kids, and I'm being one of the worst ones of the bunch. But in closing, so in finality, we say our mantra. Everyone please repeat after me. And it harms none,
And it harms none.
so mote it be.
So mote it be.
Thanks for joining us. If you need, if you need a blessing or anything, contact us.
We also offer house cleansing, paranormal investigations we'll do as well. But understand that when we do these paranormal investigations, our thing is to debunk.
Yeah.
In other words, that we try to find a physical or psychological reason for the paranormal activity.
There's only one place I know for a fact we won't investigate. It's already been proven haunted, and that's here in Newark. We have the haunted jail.
Yeah, Newark, Ohio, man, they have it. The haunted jail every year around Halloween. You get a chance to come down to Newark, Ohio. That is one of the things you need to go see. They have year-round. You can schedule too to go in.
Right, but the haunted jail during All Hallows Eve time, it actually is a haunted jail. They do the whole. Everybody gets dressed up. They set up the jail as a walkthrough.
And there's been people that have said they saw things that were not part of the show.
And
Right.
And one girl brought one home with her.
So, I mean, understand, remember, we believe that there are 2 realms of existence. That which is the physical,
The easily explainable.
easily explainable, and that which is psychological or spiritual, which is not so explainable.
Right, which the way they study that is through parapsychology and parascience.
Paramedic, or
Paranormal.
metaphysical.
Metaphysical, which is parascience, sorry.
It's parascience. So it's like I said, if you guys want a wedding and a hand fasting on All Hallows Eve, we'd be glad to do that. If you want, if you need a blessing, a house blessing or whatever, get a hold of us. We'll arrange to come see you. We do have a nominal fee for that stuff. We'll discuss that with you.
At the appropriate
And it also
time.
depends on how far we have to travel, so.
Yeah, for everybody's knowledge, if you want me to marry you, you gotta do it in Ohio because my license isn't recognized outside of Ohio. But please like, subscribe, share, post your comments and questions. We will answer the questions at our earliest convenience or in another study. So if you have questions, join us each week, Wednesdays, unless it's a special occasion, or, to be honest, if I'm sick.
Or you're.
No, if I'm sick.
Yeah, he's the lead on this, so if he
Yeah.
goes down,
What if
then
he goes into
Now-
labor?
Depending
The
on
wife goes into labor.
when my fiance goes into labor, my wifey, as I call her, if that happens to be on the Wednesday or the Tuesday before, you won't see us for a week, which will be
Yeah.
right around January 4th. We're hoping the baby's born on New Year's. That way the baby can celebrate with her great uncle.
all right. So like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
And everyone, repeat after me again. Mary met,
Mary
Mary
Matt,
Matt.
Mary part,
Mary Bart,
until we marry meet again.
until we marry me again.
Thank you and see you next week.